Republicans are framing Walz as not as moderate as he appears. Valley News Team's Ethan Kramer also talked to North Dakota U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer today, who is calling Walz and Harris the most liberal ticket ever.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President.
Governor Tim Walz was heard in that video accepting Harris's invitation to be her running mate.
The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer seeing Walz and Harris as the most liberal ticket ever.
I ever seen anything so liberal as this ticket. These are just crazy, socialist-leaning Marxist Democrat.
Cramer thinks by picking Walz that they believe Minnesota could be up for grabs.
I personally believe that by picking Tim Walz, they're sort of confessing that even Minnesota is in play.
If a Harris-Walz ticket were to win, Cramer thinks you're looking at a plethora of issues.
If in fact a Harris-Walz ticket would win the White House, I think you'd be looking at more regulations, higher taxes, more illegal immigration.
We are now just 90 days away from Election Day, and the polls show Trump and Harris are virtually tied across battleground states and nationally. Reporting in Fargo, Ethan Kramer, Valley News Live.